Hi everyone, my name is Brandon Suski and I was looking at forensic science, specifically eyewitnesses. If you don't already know what an eyewitness is, a witness is someone who has personally seen an event take place and they should be able to give a description of what happened. The popularity of eyewitnesses has gone down. Cops aren't using them as much as they used to, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, they aren't always accurate, and two, they're hard to use. By hard to use, I mean if, for example, in a store someone comes in to rob it and you have 20 to 30 people in there, you're going to have a whole lot of different stories. A couple of them, they're guaranteed to be different, and so you don't know which ones to go to, so that's why they're hard. Some of the reasons for them being wrong or not accurate is, well, first off, 33% of the time they are wrong, which is a lot whenever you think about it. And the reasons for that could be from stress, anxiety, not paying attention, or even just having a bad memory. I did a test, I was originally going to do a test, and I wanted to answer 3 questions. How often are eyewitnesses' cases wrong? How often are they right? And what are the average percentages of correct answers in an eyewitness event? How my experiment was going to work was I would get the class's attention by coming into the room and asking the teacher a question or telling them something, and on my way out I would drop a note or something. Then I would come back a few minutes later and hand out a little survey that I made, just with some simple questions about what was the person wearing, how tall were they, what color clothes were they wearing, just real simple questions like that. Then I would come back a week later and hand out the same survey, and after that I would compare the answers from the day that the event happened and from the week later and compare them to see how well or how accurate they are over time. But because of quarantine, I wasn't able to do that. So I made a new test. Instead of an in-person test, it was an online test. So for the test, this is how it works. There's 2 parts. The first part, the screen, it has a word on it. A noun, okay? It can be, I don't know, going from ladder to alligator. You're comparing the object to a shoebox. If it's larger than a shoebox or smaller than a shoebox. After you see the word on the screen, it'll either show you one of 2 pictures. A physical picture of that object or just a square. Alright, so for alligator, that's one that had a picture. It's a literal picture of an alligator right after it shows you the word. And then ladder, that one just had the square. So right after it shows you the word, it puts a square on the screen. So altogether, it shows you 30 words. 15 of them have the square and 15 of them have the physical picture of the object. The second part of the online test is based on an audio recording of the word, the computer speaking it out loud to you, and you choosing one of 2 buttons labeled old and new. This is the part whenever the pictures and the squares start to come in handy. They are kind of acting as distractions because, and also in real life eyewitness cases, there's distractions all around. People trying to get your attention, loud noises, a whole bunch of different things. So, in order to click the old button, the button labeled old, if you remember, after the audio plays, if you remember specifically seeing the physical picture of that object. So like I said earlier, after it shows you the word, it'll either show you square or picture. Picture. If you remember seeing a picture for that object, you hit old. Now, in order to click the new button, the button labeled new, it's the same thing with the pictures, the physical pictures, but this time with the squares. If you remember the word, after the word, if it shows you a square this time, not the physical picture, but the actual square, just a blank square, nothing in it. If you remember seeing a square after it showed you the word, you click new. Now, here's the only thing. The audio recordings won't just play the words that were shown on the screen in the first part of the test. They won't just show those. There were 30 of those words total that it showed you. Like I said earlier, 15 were squares, 15 were pictures. They'll also give you completely random words. If the audio recording gives you a completely random word like sofa, that was one of them, then you hit new. Pretty simple. There's 15 new words too, so there's 45 total. The old was for remember seeing the pictures. New was for remember seeing the squares, and completely new words. Alright, so these are the final results for the test. You can see the hit rate percentage column, false alarm rate percentage column, and the false memory rate percentage column. You can see all the results. All of them vary, going from 100, 0 to 100, down to, I don't know, 40 something, and 60 something, and 7. Alright, so what do these averages mean? The hit rate is how many times you remember the picture of the word correctly. False alarm rate is how many times you hit old for a completely new word. And false memory rate is how many times you thought you saw a picture of a word but only imagined it. So in conclusion, I learned 3 things. 1, what is an eyewitness? I mentioned earlier how it's someone who has personally seen an event take place and should be able to give, whether or not it's detailed or not, a description of what happened. How accurate are they? How accurate are eyewitnesses' cases? With that test, that was proving how accurate they were. And are they still commonly used? I also mentioned that earlier. By cops, they do still use them, but they're not like the main focus for solving a crime. Thank you guys for watching my scenario project video. I hope you all enjoyed and learned a lot. Hey guys, by the way, one more thing. If you want to take the test that I was using for all the students to take, the link will be in the description down below. And all you have to do, so first you click on that, it'll bring you to the website. There's a red, like maroonish color button that says go to material. You click that, and if it says, like, it'll take you to another tab, just hit OK. And then you'll read the instructions, follow all the directions, and you'll be good to go.